side, have not conceded a goal, so they'll probably lose by 4-0 today. No, it's wonderful playing some good football. I've got to be honest, as you know, I've been here since the start, and this is arguably the most enjoyable time for me, just to watch the girls play and express themselves.
You and I were talking off camera. Obviously, we spent a lot of time in each other's company watching the games last year, and it was very, very impressive. And we said it didn't need a massive overhaul in the summer, far from it. Just a little bit of a tweak, and you've brought in a couple of established players to add to the mix that are already here, and it seems to have struck a really nice balance.
Absolutely. I think, again, as we were talking, just after Christmas last year, we were probably the most consistent side. You know, we beat the Swans, we beat Met in the cup final, so we looked like we turned a corner, and psychologically, the players believed they could beat Met and Swans, but probably as important, Met and Swans believed we could beat them. So, you know, that side of things had improved. What Ian did over the summer, brought in Rhian Oakley and Meg Bowen, both good players. You know, Meg's only young from Barry. She came in from Barry, and she's you know, a squad player at the moment, but she's had a chance with the seniors. Rhian is a menace to any defence.
Yes.
She's just so quick. So everybody's got more used to their positions. They all know where they're playing. So we had that influx of youth added to the experience, and now the younger players are experienced playing in this system that Ian has set up, and at the moment it's working well.
It is working well. I saw the game earlier in the season with Kath, and of course watched the Swans game. That was a very good win as well. It's 3 at the back for Cardiff again today as we await the teams. Just to say, if you are joining us from Aberystwyth Persuasion, you are very, very welcome. We will try and be as neutral as possible, but we welcome you along to Cardiff City TV this afternoon as this women's game in Wales continues to grow and flourish. Talking of the Cardiff City team, as we said, it will be the wing-back formation with the 3 centre-halves. Karen Chamberlain continues in goal. She's been very impressive thus far this season. A back 3 of Hannah Power, captain Siobhan Walsh and Megan Bowen, with Dan Green continuing at right wing back, and I think she's been a revelation in that position. I'll talk to Mike about that in a moment. Fionn Price on the left, Sarah Watkins as the holding midfielder, Zoe Atkins and Dan Broadhurst in front, with Rhian Oakley and Meg Saunders leading the line. Just before we come to the Aberystwyth team, right, just on that Dan Green point, the change of position she's had, but how she's flourished in it, I've been ever so impressed with her.
Confidence, all about confidence. Initially, she's asked to do a job that she's not familiar with. She's an out-and-out winger, as you know. But she's naturally a very fit individual. So she was asked to drop back and make the runs, and she's done it successfully as a threat. You know, she's quick, but her skill level seems to have risen as well, you know, and her confidence has grown. I know she's a real threat, you know, a real threat.
She certainly is. Might be able to hear, it's great. We've got some support, I think, for Aberystwyth today. A little bit noisy below us, but that's great to see and great to hear. Just running through the Aberystwyth team, and then I want to talk to Mike about the mascots you'll see in your picture. We think it's 4-4-2 for Aberystwyth today. Ellen Valentine in goal, a back 4 of Lucy Gwilt, Bethan Roberts, Ellen Jones and Rebecca Mateus. 2 holding midfielders, Emily Thomas and Kelly Thomas, the captain. Gwendolyn Jones and Fionn Evans, believe, will patrol the flanks, with Shauna Chambers and Hannah Pusey up top. But we will have a look at that as the game develops, and maybe there might be some changes to that. But lovely picture going on out there at the moment. Might the women's team with the mascots in front of them. Who are that club? Who are they representing today?
That's Tondi. They're under 8s and under 9s, some of them mainly 8s. And they've been badgering us for a while to be mascots, and they'll be ball girls as well. And they're, as ever, as they should be, at 8 to 9 years of age, full of beans, full of life.
Of course.
It's like herding cats when they're coaches. But that's what we want. We want to see these youngsters coming through, and they can look at our players, hopefully, and start looking at them as role models. So, yeah, it's great. We love having the youngsters.
And again, just before kick-off, we were again talking just before we came on air. The coverage that the Welsh team got lately you know, I was engaged. There was people who haven't. I know my friends who have never followed the women's game before were engaged in that Welsh run. Yes, ultimately ended in disappointment, but just how important could that be for the continued development of the women's game?
It was massive. I mean, just talking about the crowds, I think at the start of the campaign there was a 1,500 gate. At the end it was 15,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just unprecedented. That's just fantastic. I think what I would add was England's success.
Yes.
In the Euros. I mean, that because it's England, it's in the limelight.
It is.
But it got young Welsh girls more interested, more fired up, and then the success of our own team, who were fantastic, by the way.
Yes, they were.
They were terrific, and you know, to lose, you know, your heart just went out to them. But they set their own standards, didn't they? You know, and they've moved up, and they're a quality outfit. They're a good side. You know?
They are, and with players coming up through the different youth categories, and some of these players playing for Cardiff City today, the future is bright for Welsh women's football, and no doubt we will see them in a major tournament sooner rather than later. But our focus turns today's encounter in the Adran Premier League. Cardiff City against Aberystwyth. John Donovan and Mike Thomas with you, and we were just about underway. Well, we are in fact now underway with Cardiff playing from left to right. Expect Cardiff to dominate possession, I would suggest. Aberystwyth will stay compact, solid, and hit Cardiff on the break. As the Bluebirds now feed it wide to Fionn Price, who, my apologies, I think I said she was playing at left wing back. She's playing at right wing back, and Dan Green will play as left wing back. And here is Green now attacking her marker for the first time. It's a good tackle, in fact. And now Kelly Thomas can bring the ball away for Aberystwyth. Looks to play a ball into the channel. Not a bad idea, but on this occasion, Gwenley and Thomas couldn't connect with that. But that might be the pattern of the game. Aberystwyth just defending in a good shape and looking to play on the break. Here's Oakley now, who's just energy all the time. Puts the ball into the box, cleared away well, but Rhiannon Oakley, a great pickup in my eyes. She just gives you a target to hit all the time because she's running that line, she's energetic, she's moving defenders around.
Yeah, your pass can be just down the line and into space, and Rhiannon will get there. She's that quick, you know, and an ordinary pass becomes a very good pass. Just the final ball wanting then, but, you know, it's early doors.
Here is Price, puts a good ball into the box, whipped in. Clutch of heads go over it. Eventually it's cleared away, and it'll be the first corner of the game for Cardiff City. Fionn Price will go from right to left to take this, because it's become as cliche as old as the sun, really. Fionn Price is an expert set-piece deliverer.
She's our own David Beckham. I mean, we talk about it waxing lyrical all the time about somebody who hits a football so sweet and so accurate.
And she comes. Hopefully not the commentator's curse. No, it's a good delivery towards the near post, and it just misses Zoe Atkins there. Aberystwyth should be able to clear. Good tackle, stopping the break. But Aberystwyth will have the throw in. That was captain Siobhan Walsh making that strong tackle.
It looks like they have settled into that 4-4-2 as we thought. Last season they became very hard to beat. They got a good coach, obviously. With Gavin Allen, he's a pro-licensed coach and masses of experience, and he made them hard to beat. And then a successful season, finishing 4th, which is, you know, terrific, really. Bear in mind some of the other teams. But they found it harder this season.
Oakley puts that ball in. Second chance, Atkins shot a goal, didn't get all of that, and it just goes wide. First sight of goal for Cardiff City. Yeah, interesting, Mike. I did see the match preview before the game, and you know, expecting Aberystwyth to kick on this year, because they did have a successful end to last season, but struggled a little bit early doors.
Yeah, I was looking through their players, and they've got quite a few older players. There's quite a few around the age of 30, and I was under the impression that they were younger players coming through who added a bit of spice. They've got a new goalkeeper.
Older players at the age of 30 always makes me feel a bit depressed, but I take your point as that ball goes down the line, well cut out by Price. Can she keep it in? She does. Plays a nice ball in field to Broadhurst. She turns to turn it round the corner for Oakley. Oakley's going to be beaten on that occasion, but she won't give this up. She puts the shoulder in and will win a throw-in as a result. And she brings a little bit of a physical edge as well, does Rhian Oakley.
She's tall, athletic, even when they're running at you, let's be honest.
Oakley, unfortunately, offside.
Commentators. We did it again.
Yeah, always our fault. Good to see. Sorry, but I was going to ask about Meg Saunders because I saw her a lot before Christmas last year. Thought she was a great addition and an injury and what have you. Didn't see her a lot afterwards. So almost like having a little bit of a new signing there as well.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, she's up against some good players, you know, in the likes of Phoebe Poole to hold the place down. She'd be first to admit her confidence dipped a little bit as well. And she couldn't quite get going. So this is a good chance for her today now. And that's a lovely ball. That's a
beautiful ball, and Oakley will keep this in. Body swarming into the box. Oakley, good cross. It's defended well again from Aberystwyth, and they're defending their 6-yard box well at the moment. But Cardiff, try to free it to Oakley. Watkins made the tackle, but the pass was just a little overhit, and that'll be a throw into Aberystwyth. And maybe, Mike, I think we're seeing the pattern of the game.
We're just lacking a little bit of accuracy at the moment, but you can see that we're getting into good positions, dangerous positions. We just need that final ball to be there or thereabouts. They found defenders so far with the crosses, but it'll come.
Aberystwyth looking to play out. It's turned behind by Price for a goal kick. Mike, we're 7 days away from the men's derby. You've already had success at that level this season. You're doing the team talk next Sunday, are you?
Oh, I think so. I'll just show video of how we did it, I think. And I loved the reaction of, I mean, Phoebe scored 2 goals in that game. And to see her reaction straight after that first goal and the way everybody else reacted, that's how you play in a derby. You know, it matters. And I laugh because Holly Smith nearly ripped her head off in the celebrations. It was really funny, but no, it matters. They'll always be our main rival.
Yeah.
We can't get it, and they've had a lot of success and beaten us a lot of times over the last 3 or 4 years. But we've won 3 of the last 4. So it's hopefully the tide's turn. They're still a good side.
They are a very good side, but I think that should be the hashtag for next Sunday. In fact, it matters.
It does. Good.
It certainly does.
It certainly does.
Anyway, back to matters at hand at the moment, as Aberystwyth have made some ground into the Cardiff City half. A throw in on the far side as we look at things. Well defended on the edge of the box, and it's a nice turn also by Saunders using the body, and she draws the free kick, and Cardiff will have a chance to probably spread the game to this right-hand side. Cardiff, we know, like to make the pitch very big.
I think that's what they've done better this year than last year as well. You can see how wide the wing backs are now. They're getting chalk on their heels. Well, that makes me sound old, doesn't it?
It makes me old because I understand the saying, Mike. Free kick to Aberystwyth. A little bit bitty the last few moments, and that'll probably suit the visitors, I would have thought.
Going back to your point about young players, last weekend we managed a good win in the Cup against Cascade. We do play at Tier 2, but with 4 girls away at under 19 level for Wales, we still had 9 of the 16 squad who were teenagers. I mean, that's just tremendous. And shows, we're going to give Ian a lot of credit for the way he's developed the club really over the last couple of years. It hasn't happened overnight. That's the point I'd like to make. Is the success we're sort of enjoying at the moment is as a result of 2 or 3 years of graft.
Well, you mentioned Ian. There's other people to mention as well, including yourself, Mike. So people like me now who have come to it late are enjoying the fruits of your labour. But it does look like the future is very, very bright for the Cardiff City women's setup. That's a nice pass to Saunders, who's playing really well with her back to goal in the early stages of this one. Nice platform there.
She needs a good confidence boost. A goal would do her a world of good. She did get one last week, but a goal at this level that would be nice for her. She's a nice kid. It'd be good to see her thriving again.
Ball into Saunders. She tries to turn it around the corner. I understood the idea there, but the execution wasn't what it needed to be. Aberystwyth are good on the press. They're trying to compact the game. Price immediately has a player in front of her. That player was Gwilt. It's a nice turn by Saunders. Again, the ball wasn't quite what it needed to be, although Oakley could turn it into something. She has turned it into something. Can she put it across the goal? It's turned behind for a corner kick. Well, a couple of occasions there, Megan Saunders did all the hard work, being the platform, the target. The ball wasn't quite there, but again, Rhian Oakley can turn a 50-50 ball into a 60-40.
You can't legislate for that speed, can you? You know, you can't. It looks like an easy ball for the left back, and then she's on you, kind of thing. You know? And the girl who plays left back is a former Cardiff Met player, so you know, she's no mug. She's a good player.
Sarah Watkins will go over to take this corner. Drill towards the far post. There is a player there who tries to take it on the volley. That was Walsh.
That's why she's a centre half.
You said that, not me, Mike.
She's better at heading it. If it lands on her head, she scores. Semi-bicycle kicks? No. Ah, she's great.
She's a true leader. Yeah.
Stalwart of the team. She's just a fantastic player.
Long ball, which Hannah Power will deal with, and I will try and get through the whole afternoon without calling her Hannah Daly. So the ball goes all the way through to Chamberlain. In my defence, though, even Kath Walsh was calling her Hannah Daly a few weeks ago.
It's hard to get out of that habit, isn't it?
Price does well, comes away with the second ball now, looks to spread it to Green, who's kept herself on side, couldn't quite keep it in. The ball she was always stretching for. Again, nice idea, didn't quite come off. That's maybe been the story of the first few moments of this game.
Yeah, a little bit scruffy, a little bit, it's that accuracy, we're not quite there yet.
If you are just joining us, you are very, very welcome. John Donovan along with Mike Thomas on Cardiff City TV. 0-0 in this Premier League game between Cardiff City women and Aberystwyth. Cardiff have had the majority of possession without really working Ellen Valentine in the Aberystwyth goal. But once more, I think we're set up for a very entertaining game here on a Sunday afternoon. As the ball goes long, dealt with by Walsh, proving Mike's point.
Exactly.
She's
right end of the field.
Oh, nice clip ball over the top. That's good positioning by Power there, because that was a nice ball around the corner. And Aberystwyth do look dangerous as they look to turn the Cardiff City defence. Walsh steps in well, makes a good tackle. That's a nice release ball, finding Green. Has to go backwards as Saunders wasn't quite in the wide position to move the ball forward. So Cardiff will build from the back once more. Here's Walsh. It's a high press from Aberystwyth. It's courageous of them, I think. They're trying to box Cardiff in their own half, and we've seen teams might come here and sort of sit from their own halfway line back, but Aberystwyth looking to congest the Cardiff half of the pitch.
Yeah, they're trying to make it hard for us. You can't. They're coached well, so.
Here's Oakley again. Great recovery tackle by Gwilt. He was having a hard time against Oakley, but gives as good as she gets there with a fantastic sliding tackle. But Cardiff will retrieve second phase ball. Here is Oakley. Such an athlete out there. Price, good first time ball into the area. Will the bounce favour Cardiff? No, it's well defended by captain Kelly Thomas, who clears away. Walsh gets her toe in to make a tackle. Walsh is down, in fact. Referee playing advantage. Here's Oakley. Walsh is back to her feet, but albeit a little gingerly. Now she's got to chase a ball down. And she plays the ball down the line. That will go out and it'll give her a chance to. Well, it looks like the shoulder. I thought an ankle initially, Mike, but it looks like that shoulder she's clutching right now.
It's probably a broken collarbone, so she'll be fine.
Yeah. She can run off anything, can't she? Yeah.
It's in the genes. Her and her sister.
Yeah.
I'll give Kath a mention as well, who stood in last time. Her work away from playing to get over that ACL injury.
Did I see some social media this week? She was back on the track running around.
Around here.
Yeah.
Wednesday night it was miserable, right? A really miserable night, wet, and she's running around. But she does it down at Ocean Park where we train. She is just such an example of
Yeah.
what to do, you know. And there's, does she go through some dark moments? Yes, she does, and she'll admit that. But she keeps that chirpy spirit,
Yeah.
a smile on her face even when she's struggling. Great to have in the dressing room. Absolutely superb. So, credit to her.
Free kick to Aberystwyth. Saunders couldn't quite beat the player there. I think the away team and their fans, who are loud below us, and again, good to see, good to hear.
Yes,
they'll be pretty pleased with how their team have performed through the first 15 minutes of this one.
I expect their students.
I imagine, yeah.
And they look that dishevelled look about them, don't they? Like they've just got a.
Oh, maybe had a beer on the way down, perhaps.
One or two, but they're more than welcome.
Valentine, direct
Good kick.
delivery, good clearing header from Broadhurst. Watkins is in there, making herself a nuisance and forces Aberystwyth back. Ball into the box. Chambers will come, and I think she had that situation under control. Thought the flight of the ball was going to beat her for a second.
I wonder if he got caught on a bit of breeze.
This is a good game, and Aberystwyth, they are going to be a difficult side to break down. And again, that press is really good. They're not allowing Cardiff to have any free passage to come out of their half easily. Will Cardiff be forced to go a little more direct and perhaps use Oakley's pace over the top?
Yeah,
Sometimes
we're getting caught in possession. We're a little bit slack at the moment, and they're getting a little. They're getting little victories around the pitch, which will give them heart, which will encourage them.
I think maybe the way you beat a press like this is to make them think twice about committing so many bodies and perhaps go direct a couple of times, mix up the game a little bit so they're not quite settled.
Absolutely. You can overplay sometimes, and the direct route, especially with somebody as quick as her. And Dan's quick.
Yep.
Megan's quick. These are dangerous players. We're just a bit untidy at the moment, aren't we? We just can't seem to. We need to get our foot on the ball, knock together 5 or 6 passes on 3 or 4 occasions.
Good block tackle by Green. The other point of that, and credit to Aberystwyth, you can see they're visibly growing in confidence.
That's right. Because those little victories I talk about, they do. And in fairness, these lads who we're having a bit of fun with here, they're cheering them on and giving them something to hold on to. It's great. It's great.
Nice close control there. Lovely control by Jones. Spreads it wide, and Aberystwyth will look to make ground down the right-hand side. And really a lot of positivity there. That was Bethan Roberts just making a dart down the right-hand side, cleared away, and Aberystwyth starting to have more and more time in the Cardiff City half. As Ian Derbyshire looks on, might just have to vary the game a little bit.
He won't be panicking just yet. We're only 17 minutes into the game, but I don't think he'd be pleased with the way we're losing the little one-on-ones. Too many one-on-ones,
Another throw into the visitors. Bowen gets something on that, and Watkins heads away. That'll be a foul on Sarah Watkins, and my first chance of the game to remind everyone she's my favourite player because she does all that dirty work that goes unseen and allows everyone else to get the glory.
100%. I actually tweeted something to that effect a couple of weeks back. Every team should have a Sarah Watkins.
Yeah.
She's absolutely fantastic, and for her to get a goal in the cup final.
And what a goal.
And what a goal, yeah.
It's difficult for Power. Again, Cardiff forced back into their own half.
Making it hard for ourselves.
Decent shot on goal. Good block by Walsh, who once more is in the wars, but needed to block that shot from Pusey. Once more, Walsh is up.
So a broken nose to go with a broken collarbone.
Absolutely.
Back to her post.
But Aberystwyth have spent a fair bit of time in the Cardiff half the last 3 or 4 minutes, not creating a chance, but this is not perhaps what the Bluebirds expected this afternoon.
Well, maybe that is the problem. Perhaps looking at league tables, Shouldn't be doing it.
Credit to the visitors. They've set their stall out and they're performing very well right now.
This is what they did last year as well. They did make it difficult for us.
Good use of the body once more, and now Aberystwyth have a chance to put the ball into the box. Walsh blocks that attempted shot. It's a little messy again, and Pusey is doing well to go up against sometimes two centre-halves and provide a decent platform for a team. Cardiff do go a little bit more direct. Oakley flicks it on. Cardiff should have the throw, I believe, because Oakley flicked it off the defender. The linesman wasn't quite sure.
No, but I think, like you, it was obvious from it, really.
Here's Price to Oakley. That's nice. A little bit of space for Oakley, who skips past the defender. Feeds it in. That's beautiful from Oakley. Now Cardiff have an overload. Will Saunders take the shot on? She does. Good save. Well, you can never blame a striker for taking a shot on. There were players coming to the far post, but she forced a good save out of Valentine. And
That was a good save.
a little bit of momentum shift that Cardiff might need. Here's Oakley. Decent drive. It's just going to go wide, but that daisy cutter had Valentine a little worried, and a response that Cardiff needed there.
Definitely. Change momentum, as you said there. That was a couple of good passes, good interplay between Fionn and Rian, and created the opportunity for Meg. But that angle sometimes, if you don't get it right, it's a comfortable save for the keeper. So give her credit, she was in the right place. I've heard she's a decent keeper, so it's the first time I've seen her.
Yes. Yeah, I read that in the pre-match scouting or report today, and that certainly was a good save. And as I said, never criticise a striker for taking the shot on.
Oh no, any striker worth their salt's going to do that there.
Nice tidying up by Power, heading it back to Chamberlain. Can Cardiff grow in confidence from that? We are past the 20-minute mark here, still 0-0 in this encounter. It's not mouth activity, but it's certainly an intriguing, interesting match.
Lots of little errors and making it a bit untidy.
Gwilt will take the throw in on this near side, goes down the line. Price wins it, heads it infield. It's tidied up, and the ball will go back to Valentine, who, well, seems comfortable with the ball at her feet, either going short or putting her laces through it. Cardiff pick up second ball though, and here's Saunders, who I think has been busy. Nice outside ball to Green. Green puts the brakes on, wants Saunders to go round the side of her, uses her as a decoy. Green, touch got away from her a little bit. I think she wanted to run a little bit quicker from Megan Saunders then. Once again, Siobhan Walsh tidies up very well and gives it to Bowen, and Bowen can bring the ball forward. Direct ball into the channel. Oakley will get to that. Oakley, keeper comes out. Oakley, beautiful finish. Absolutely glorious, composed finish from Oakley. Well, Mike, that's what we were talking about. Cardiff maybe under the cosh, under the press from Aberystwyth. You can go a little bit more direct with that angled ball. Oakley's speed gives you that opportunity, and that finish, well, that was sublime.
That was superb. You called that. You ought to take a football commentary.
You're the first person who said that.
A lovely ball over the top, and she covers the ground so quickly. It doesn't look like she's running fast, but she got such a long gait. She covers the ground, and it was so calm. It was, keepers running her. She did exactly the right thing. Just, I'm going to whack it, just knock it past the keeper. It was on rushing. Lovely goal, lovely goal. And that's the thing, even if we're honest, we're not playing brilliantly just yet, but we've got people who can hurt you in the side.
That may settle Cardiff down a little bit. There's been some good moments, but as Mike said, and as is summed up there by Sarah Watkins, a few unforced errors, which we haven't seen so much of this season. And Aberystwyth will still justifiably feel they are very much in this game.
I think sometimes, we're better, with due respect to Aberystwyth, when we're playing the likes of Swansea, when everybody is really switched on. And you've got to look. We've won every game with churlish if we criticise the girls, but sometimes that little edge, that big match atmosphere makes such a difference. And I say that with all due respect to Aber.
Nice. The adrenaline flows a little bit more perhaps, and as you say, a little more switched on, but Cardiff do have the lead, and as Mike alluding to there, you can't really ask for any more than that, as that's cleared out well by Ellen Jones. Cardiff will have the throw in. I just feel that Cardiff have started to use the channels a little bit more to try and turn Aberystwyth.
Yeah, but I'd like to see Dan Green involved more as Rhian is on the right, and get her involved on the left. You know, let's use this big pitch.
Broadhurst will get to the second ball, crunching tackle. Be a throw into Aberystwyth.
That's a player having a good season, is Dan Broadhurst.
She is, isn't she?
See some of her goals. She's got 3 goals from midfield. The one at Barry, oh my days. Just ran onto it and bent it into the top corner. I mean, a man wouldn't have saved it.
Now there is a chance to spread the game to Green. The ball wasn't quite there from Price. I'm with Mike. I'd like to see the left wing back involved a little bit more. So, decent controlled ball by Power, but there was no one in the space, and Power looks a little frustrated by that. I can understand. She put it into a good area. Now Walsh goes direct once more. Cardiff trying to force Aberystwyth back in that manner, and here's Oakley. She can attack her marker. She drives into the box. Will she put it across the goal? There's a player on the far post. Oh, and the bobble perhaps just before the strike of the ball. Dan Green, she did everything right to get to that position. The ball had some pace on it, and well, she won't want to see that one again, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe it just jumped up on her.
Yeah, I think it was bouncing. I think she was leaning back. She knows she should have scored, but she's a good player, isn't she? She'll be disappointed. But that can happen sometimes. But great play again. You can see the threat that Rhian, she's been the main threat for the whole half, hasn't she? Let's be honest.
Cardiff will have to recover, and Price does from the initial heavy touch. Nice ball from Walsh to Power. Power, that's a nice ball too, allowing Saunders to turn.
See, that's sometimes I think we overplay. I think Dan Green was free then. We may well have been able to release her.
Atkins will chase that down, but Valentine will come out. Just feel that Cardiff mixing up the game has forced Aberystwyth to maybe be a bit more passive on their press. So
that's right.
You know, that's a small victory for Cardiff, I think.
Yeah.
Price misses that in the sun. Power heads it infield, and Broadhurst clears away. Oakley uses the body ever so well, and now can just run into grass that's behind her. She drives into the box once more. Will she go herself this time? Oh, well, it was a shot come cross. I think she was caught in 2 minds, and that's a shame because that was beautiful from Oakley. And Cardiff should have had a second now, but on both occasions, just the final execution gone awry.
Hit it. Just tuck it inside the far post. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't be nice to your partners. Oh dear, should be 2-0. But great again. We're just going on about her all the time, but you see, she doesn't look like she's running very fast.
No.
But when you look at the defender going backwards.
And she is an athlete. She must be so fit, because at the 90 minutes I've seen her play live, she doesn't stop making those runs.
Well, she is an athlete, as in she's done athletics as well. So. I think, to be honest, she's getting fitter regarding the 90 minutes, but her sprinting is incredible.
Once more, you see, as to Mike's point, it doesn't look like she's going full pelt, but she gets there first, puts another great ball in, has to be turned behind, and right now Aberystwyth are struggling to live with Rhian Oakley.
Yeah, constant threat, isn't it? That's all you got to do is just put the ball in behind there. It'll be interesting to see if Gavin Allen does anything at half-time to counter that and give the left back a little bit of support, because she's being isolated all the time. I don't know what you can do if somebody's that quick.
Corner kick, ball goes in, Atkins puts it back into a dangerous area. No one could get to that ball. Bowen again tries to recycle.
Well played.
It's going to be a 50-50 ball here, and it's well dealt with by Power. That was excellent. Knew what she wanted to do. Puts a nice ball into the box. Defended well on the edge of the box by number 5, Ellen Jones. But Cardiff will again claim second ball and work it round to Price. Price puts a first-time ball in. It's well cut out by Matthias. Once more, though, Cardiff just starting to win those second phase duels. That's a nice ball in from Saunders. Oakley gets something on it. They're looking for a corner kick. Referee says no goal kick, and I'll turn to Mike Thomas and say, well, in my day, when you had someone fast running at you and you asked what you do against it, I don't know, kick him.
Can't do it anymore.
Kick him.
When I played, I was reasonably quick. I spent most of my time lying in the mud,
Yeah.
to be honest.
That was always my approach.
Yeah. And picked up, sorry son, you all right? Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
You just get used to it. Thankfully, the game has changed.
The game has changed. I'd be lost out there now. Ball played into the channel from Broadhurst. Nice idea. Runs all the way through to Valentine, though.
I think there was an incident before that passage of play where Hannah Daly won the ball. Hannah Power won the ball outright. And you can see there's no one that you would call a slouch.
No.
In the team, you know, there's plenty of pace all through the club. Oakley,
she's going to be favourite for this here. She's muscled her way through. She's in. Can she finish? Great tackle, actually. Well, it's a penalty. Well, I've got to admit, I thought she came from the right side and won the ball. I think the referee's given a free kick. It's Matthias, I think.
Okay. So the tackle was good, but maybe she was being held back.
I see. Yes.
Oh, red card then. I'm not asking for a red card because to me that was just a 50-50 battle, wasn't it?
But you're right. Aberystwyth are going to have to do something about, they've got a flat line of defenders at the moment, and one ball over the top. Oakley's just in every time. So maybe have a sweeper or someone who's just playing a little deeper.
Yeah, or defend deeper, but then you can't do the same press.
Yeah, you can't do the same. Yes.
The midfield from the defence. So it's difficult. It is difficult.
Well, there's only one person who's taking responsibility for this. It's Dan Broadhurst, and as Mike has mentioned, many a fine goal already this season. It's always the difficulty this close to the area, getting it up and down quickly. Broadhurst strikes a goal, good block.
Well, she was nowhere near.
Didn't look that way, did it?
That's not. There we are.
Ball will come back to Oakley. Drilled ball, well defended on the edge of the area that time by Emily Thomas. Walsh, controls the bounce well, puts a ball into an area just over the top of Broadhurst, and now Aberystwyth can perhaps come away. Only one player to hit, although it's an intelligent ball into the channel. It'll at least give Aberystwyth a chance to move players up the pitch. Although maybe Aberystwyth just starting to become a little fatigued as this half goes on.
You're chasing the ball, you're chasing players and the ball a lot, aren't you? You can't do that for 90 minutes. It does get tiring.
Our partner in commentary, Kath Walsh, just noticed she's doing a little coaching down there, having a word with some of the subs and passing on some of that experience. And as you said, Mike, who better to learn from?
She's terrific. And you mentioned coaching there. I happen to think that one day she will be a good coach. I think she's done a B license, but I think she has the personality.
Yes.
She's got that kind of character as well. She doesn't mind telling you what she thinks, which I love. But no, I think she's very. She's got all the attributes.
No, I would agree with that.
And a good person.
Yes.
Great for girls to look up to. We've taken on 2 new coaches for the under-16s this summer. And what's disappointing is that we can't find women coaches.
Really?
It's really difficult because we've tried, and the FAW know that we've tried.
Yes.
And we want to give people a chance, but if they don't apply for the jobs, if they don't come.
No.
And that, as it turns out, the David Carroll, who's the new under-16s coach, he's tremendous. We found a little nugget there. He's got a lot of experience in women's football.
But, to your point, I think Kath Walsh is certainly one that a few conversations I've had with her, her passion and knowledge for the game, I think she could certainly make that transition.
Yeah, absolutely. She understands the game, and has got a very positive attitude. So she's great in the dressing room as well as on the pitch.
And she did put me in my place a couple of times. So.
She's braver than me. Well, she is braver than me.
Throw into Cardiff City on halfway. Power goes a little longer this time. Saunders will chase. Jones is there first, and Jones has looked pretty composed as a centre half. She plays that out, but she's been noticeable cutting balls out.
She's tall and rangy, isn't she? She covers the ground quite well, just not quite as quick as Usain Oakley.
Power, again, good headed clearance, but Power with a second attempt, and that's a great ball on the left foot. It'll go out for a corner, and I think Hannah Power, we talk about her, but she's almost like, you know, maybe like a Kevin McNaughton used to be for Cardiff City. 6 and 7 out of 10 every week. You don't mention her as much as maybe we should.
Another one. She's Cardiff City through and through, and every game she's on it all the time, trying it. You know, even if she's having a bad game, she never gives up. She never lets her head down. You know? That's experience as well.
Cardiff decide to go short. They'll go short to Price. Price, clip ball to the far post. It's a lovely ball. Walsh is up. I think there was just a player in front of her that maybe got in her line of vision, gets something on it, but behind for a goal kick. But good variation there from the Bluebirds.
Yeah. Half expected Fionn then to have a little dart herself, because we all know how capable she is of scoring from outside the penalty area.
Was she first, second and third for goal of the year last year? Do I remember?
Something like that, yeah. She had her own competition, didn't she? And she was the league's player of the season, which is wonderful.
Yes. Again, it's good covering from Power, and it needed to be in Bowen as well. Decent position, but they've given the ball back to Aberystwyth. This is a chance. Pusey, can she get in? Price does well to get goal side. The clearance is a little scuffed, but Cardiff should be able to get it away. But just a reminder that Aberystwyth are far from done in this game, and that brings the crowd of gentlemen below us to life once more. To be that young age, that age again.
That young and that annoying. No, they're great. Love to see it, love to see it. They're enjoying themselves, aren't they?
They are, and that's what it's all about as that ball goes forward. Once more, Oakley is going to battle, and perhaps will get the better of Gwilt. Gwilt, though, sticking to her task. And
she's a good player. She's a good player.
Yeah, it's not been a comfortable afternoon for her, but she is gamefully sticking to her task and winning some of those duels now. Walsh to Chamberlain. I think that would just about stayed in. Cardiff had gone away from those little unforced errors for 10-15 minutes, but just in the last couple of passages of play, they've crept back in.
Yeah, it's very unlike Siobhan.
Oakley leaves a little bit on there. And on Gwilt on that occasion.
Yes, she's got that in her locker as well, which, you know, if you're a forward, you get kicked enough, so you don't mind a little bit now. Yeah. She didn't break anybody's leg.
Tereus with this free kick. Broadhurst meets it first, but it'll come to the right-hand side, and a chance to put a strike towards goal. Chamberlain's in control of the situation. It was Fiona Evans who looked to catch the keeper napping a little bit.
And the Tondi ball girls are doing a good job.
They are indeed.
Keeping the ball in play.
And they looked to play out short and invited the press on again, and just turned over the ball a couple of occasions in the last few moments. That's a dominant win there from Atkins. Plays the ball forward. Broadhurst will try and get there. Goes to ground. Will at least force a throw in as Emily Thomas ran that ball out. Price forward. Good throw. Can Saunders keep it in while she puts the ball across the area? This could be goal of the season. If this goes in, it's stopped on the line. Well defended. The goalkeeper is down. Valentine. I think there was a clash with a player there, but she was beaten by the shot. She needed the help of her teammate behind her. That was a lovely ball from Megan Thomas, and decent technique from Dan Green. She watched it out of the sky, Mike, and got a good connection on it. And
went down into the ground, much better than flying over the top, because if it hits the ground, it can bounce up exactly as that does. Without the defender, I think it was number 5, the young lady.
Yeah, Ellen Jones, who...
Yeah, I think she was there to clear it. So, good anticipation, well done her.
Valentine.
Another threat.
Yeah, Valentine just clashed, I think, got caught in the face by the Cardiff player, unintentionally, but caught in the face by the Cardiff player in front of her, so looks in a little bit of discomfort right now. Chance for both teams to come and take on some fluids and a little bit of a team talk to set them up for the remaining 5 or 6 minutes of this half. Say, Mike, it's a game which Cardiff, you feel they can move up a gear. You know, they're 1-0 up. They're doing what they need to do. But Aberystwyth have forced some errors that we don't normally see.
Do you know what? You're making a good point there, because we've played well this season. I can't pretend we didn't. But I think there's plenty more to come. You know, I think, you know, we played really well against the Swans. Had to, because and the other games we've won and we've played well. But I think there's another couple of gears in this team.
Yeah.
You know, I really do.
No, I agree. And that in itself is a massive positive.
I expect to see Phoebe Poole at some time during the game. And she's, you know, not as quick as Rian, but she's very quick as well up top. So she'll be a threat as well. But she's been away with Wales all week.
Yes. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, yes, scored a couple of goals.
Walsh does well to break the tackle. Nice ball to feet. Just gets away from Saunders on that occasion. Broadhurst, is that handball? The 6th gentleman below us certainly thought so. Referee says play on.
Yeah, the players didn't appeal, did they?
They're good entertainment, and as we said all game, we're having a bit of fun at their expense, but glad they've made the trip down. They're making a good atmosphere here today.
Absolutely right.
That ball is cleared away. Power, I think, has had an exemplary first half. Well, gets there twice with the head. She's been excellent in this first half. Ball goes out, though. Price can't keep it in. That'll be a throw into Aberystwyth, and once more, we're back to that bitty football. A lot of set plays. The game's broken up a little bit.
Yeah, we could do with another goal, I think. I'm not saying it would kill them off, but it would certainly harm them.
Aberystwyth will get the throw. A little bit of disagreement on the pitch about that, but linesman was emphatic. Assistant referee, my apologies.
It's hard to get used to.
It's hard to get in. It's been about 10 years.
I know. No.
Cleared away again by Price. Mind you, if you watched the Cardiff City men's game yesterday, I'm not sure the linesman and referee covered themselves in glory.
I know. Not great.
Ball down the line, defended well by Price. It is Seasiders, I can assure you, if it's coming across on the microphones.
Yeah.
Cleared away again by Price. As mentioned in the Cardiff City men's side, a chance to remind you they're back in action on Wednesday night from Loftus Road. Join us for that one. And of course, there's a little thing happening next Sunday. Price clears away for the 3rd time in succession. It'll be another throw in to Aberystwyth, who have gained ground. Now can they find a way to get a ball into the box? A real motivating factor for them if they were able to draw level before half-time. Price again to Atkins. Atkins will clear, not a great distance, but will allow Cardiff to bring the line up. Cardiff maybe just settling in and protecting their penalty area to get into half-time with their lead. Decent ball into the box, but it's well controlled and defended by Walsh, and now Price goes long. Good header there from Ellen Jones, who's maybe been the pick of the Aberystwyth players thus far, along with Pusey up top, who has worked hard. It's cleared out. Cardiff come all the way up the field, and well, you can't ask any more. They defended their box in a very organised fashion, and now they've gained ground. Price towards the far post. That's a great cross. It's off the bar. Second ball cleared away. I think it was Atkins with the header. It was a great header. Looped it over the keeper. Couldn't quite bring it back down below the bar. But
yeah, that's Zoe. Zoe on the spot. That's what she's great at. Getting in there, getting past the strikers in a dangerous position. And actually, it's a surprise she didn't score, because she's usually good at those.
Yeah, for all we say, Cardiff haven't played to their high standards in this first half. You think about a couple of chances for Dan Green, one more for Rhian Oakley, and that one off the bar. They could have been out of sight at this point. As Watkins takes the corner towards the far post. Walsh is up, gets something on it, but once more it drifts wide of the goal. And you always take that, and again, it's an awful cliche, Mike, but to be winning games when perhaps you're not playing well, and they have created enough chances to be out of sight in this one.
Well, every team that is successful has a good defence, and we haven't really looked like conceding a goal, have we? If we're honest. We look solid. Scoring is the hardest thing to do in football. We've had a few chances, we've taken one. We're winning the game. You know, at the moment, I'm quite comfortable. I'd like to see another goal, but I'd like to see it tidy up a little bit as well, to be honest. We're a bit not quite as sharp as we should be.
Saunders again, give her credit, as that ball might go a little bit amiss. I think she has played well with her back to goal. She's maybe a slightly different Cardiff City striker in that sense. She's not always looking to run in behind. She'll come short and she'll take the ball, and I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, it's that's what she's good at. You know, she's technically she's good at her feet. She's lacked a bit of confidence recently, and you know, she'll be back. She's a good player, and it's good for her to get some time on the starting sheet.
Very good ball from Walsh to Green, and Green now will come and beat two players and try and feed it to Broadhurst. It's just cut away by Emily Thomas. Did that well on the edge of the box. That is half-time. It is 1-0 to Cardiff City women against Aberystwyth. Entertaining, intriguing first half, and still very much to play for in the second half. And Mike, as we were saying, Cardiff, they're doing what they need to do at the moment, but you feel there is more to come from them.
There's a lot more. Ian, he'll have a few words in a few years, I think, and they'll sharpen up and start playing more towards their potential. He's having a little chat with the brains trust on the touchline there about what we're going to say, and I'm sure we'll come out the second half and put on a show.
And we talk about it a lot at all levels of football, and particularly in the men's team. This you want to play out, you want to beat the press, you want to play nice football through the lines and what have you. But when a team is, as Aberystwyth did for the first 15-20 minutes, is making that difficult, is looking to put bodies in your half and break up play, there is an argument for going direct. It's not hoofball, it's a tactical way to beat what your opposition are trying to do.
Football's not to be played one way, is it?
No.
I've watched football all my life, and my favourite team was the Brazilian team of 1970.
Yeah.
You know, we just kept the ball off everybody, you know, but scored goals. And then there's been other teams like Manchester City now. They're fantastic. They find ways to score goals. If it means a 10-yard pass, it's a 10-yard pass. If it means a 50-yard pass, it's a 50-yard pass. It doesn't matter. You've got to get out of the thinking that you have to have 48 passes before you score a goal. If one gets your striker into a dangerous position, as it did with Rhian, that's great. You win the game. You wouldn't want to watch it every game if it was just hoofing it down the field. But we've got technically good players who like to pass well, who like to create chances by playing that kind of more technical, for want of a better phrase, football. But we scored a goal through getting the ball through to Rhian very quickly, and she took it easily. So, let's not get bogged down with one style of play, and that's good for the girls. They're still learning. They've got to work out ways of breaking down opposition as well.
We're just leaving you here with some replays. That was the tackle, which the tackle I think was good, but as Mike pointed out, I think the pulling beforehand was maybe the issue. This was the last major chance of the half. Dan Green getting a volley into the ground, well defended on the line by the defender. There were chances for Cardiff City. They've only scored the one so far. Myself and Mike will break for a cup of tea and a little breather. Join us again in around about 10 minutes. We hope you'll stay with us for coverage of this game. At the break, it's Cardiff City 1, Aberystwyth 0. A very warm welcome back to Cardiff International Sports Stadium and coverage here on Cardiff City TV of Cardiff City women against Aberystwyth. 1-0 at half-time to the Bluebirds. You're in the company of John Donovan and Mike Thomas. An interesting first half. Cardiff could have stretched their lead, but Aberystwyth certainly made life difficult for the hosts. And only 1-0 down will feel they are very much still in it, buoyed by their supporters below us, who did a great job in the first half. But we are underway, and it doesn't look like there's been any changes at half-time. I've got to just mention to Mike, and apologies if you don't know this reference, but Cardiff City, there was a term known or reference with Cardiff City called the Soul Crew, and there's a sign that Aberystwyth have brought down because they're known as the Seasiders. Aberystwyth Soul Crew, as in the fish, spelled S-O-L-E. So made me chuckle a little bit at half-time.
Do you know what? I was thinking of the Soul Crew. I was thinking it'd be nice if we had some of the Soul Crew come and support us.
That would be.
I think the Aberystwyth Soul Crew would be a bit quieter then. No.
Here's Oakley again. Oh, she's made room. Can she get a shot away? She can. Good block, in fact. Good tracking back there from Fiona Evans. And now Aberystwyth can perhaps come away. You imagine Ian Derbyshire might have asked his team to start this half with a higher tempo.
Yes, I'm sure it was a bit too sloppy first half, and I'm sure he would have.
Throw into Aberystwyth on halfway. They go down the line, headed away by Green, and Broadhurst flicks on. Can't connect with Saunders though on that occasion. Well done by Bowen, who's been solid. The whole back three has been good for Cardiff today. Walsh finds Bowen. Bowen gets the ball caught under her feet a little bit, and in fact wins the throw in.
Yeah, she's only young, 18 I think she is, Meg, but she's settled into the club really well. She came from Barry. She's quite the character.
Well, the wind has picked up in this second half, so much so that my notes are flying everywhere, so could have an effect on the game.
Such a professional.
I've been called many things, Mike. Professional's not one of them. Here's Atkins. Good close control. Ball into the channel. You can see the idea, the diagonal ball for Broadhurst, but not quite on. I should just mention, Mike, a lot of sponsors on board this year that are doing great things and helping this team develop. One of them actually was good enough to get us a cup of coffee at half-time. Yeah,
well, that's Paul Cox, who he was with last year's sponsor, Fans Direct. He's moving on now, but he's been a tremendous support of the women's setup. He has so many connections that he's put us in touch with so many people, including our new main front of shirt sponsor, Nathaniel. And he's been at Nathaniel Cars, and the amount of money, people don't realise how much it costs to play at places like this, and the training facilities that we use, and having 3 teams, the kit, etc. And people like Paul are just, well, and it's all done for nothing. We've sort of given him an unofficial title of the ambassador.
Yes.
But, you know, he doesn't have to do it, but he's absolutely fantastic. Natural born salesman, he's brilliant. And a thoroughly decent guy who's buying us a cup of coffee.
Well, I tell you, he's got my vote for that.
Yeah, no, he's a Llanrumney boy, like Mr. Borley and myself.
Yes.
You know, he's Cardiff through and through. And he just loves being involved, you know. And I can't tell you, we'll be eternally in his debt for what he's done, because, as you know, there have been major structure changes as Ian is now full-time employee of the club.
Yep.
Well, somebody's got to pay for that, you know. So getting people on board has been tremendous.
I won't mention them all, but thanks to all the sponsors, do a great job. Here's Green into the box, cleared away. Broadhurst, can she get second ball? Can't on that occasion, but Watkins will do what Watkins does, and Broadhurst is going to try and bend that in. It clips the top of the bar. It's another worldy attempt from Dan Broadhurst. She does that so often. Give a mention there to Watkins, the way she broke up play, but Broadhurst only had one thought in mind there, and that was that was looping and almost a second, Mike.
Yeah, that was very similar to the one she scored at Barry. It just dipped under the bar against Barry, and it didn't matter who he was in goal that in the day. It was going in. It was just brilliant. But she's got that in her locker. She scored a couple of crackers. Scored a tap in and 2 really good goals. You know.
Oakley, that's good. That wasn't offside.
No.
I was about to say my commentary line was Atkins has done well to keep herself onside, but we will of course bow to the assistant referee.
We're only about 100 yards away versus 15. So. But it did look as though she was at least in line. But there we are.
Cardiff have now hit the woodwork twice, either side of half-time, and have had other chances as well. But Aberystwyth is still very much in this game and proving a tough nut to crack. And they'll give every team problems, I suspect, this season. Maybe haven't had the start they expected to the campaign, but they look a well-organised unit. They defend again here, and it's well cleared out once more by Ellen Jones, who's been solid all afternoon. Looks like a very good, athletic, positionally sound centre-half.
Yeah, it looks like Rian is over on the left-hand side.
Saunders to Oakley, who terrorised the defence in the first half. Decent ball, no one on the far post to take it. And Aberystwyth will try and bring away, but Watkins gets there in front of Chambers, and Cardiff once more can build. Here's Atkins, nice ball through the lines. That's a better ball. Aberystwyth, though, they're staying compact and they're staying in their shape, and they've won the ball there. The visitors continue to be very, very disciplined. Pusey tries to play the ball into the channel. That's cut out well by Power, who I think was one of my players of the first half. Just did every little thing right, as she normally does.
Yeah, if whilst we're not flowing necessarily at the top end, we're looking very solid, and we break up their potential threat quite easily. And at the moment, Karen Chamberlain in goal has not had to make a save. So, you know, defensively, we're looking very, very strong.
And that's the foundation of any good team, as Mike said in the first half, is Bowen. That's a nice ball. Direct to feet. But again, good tackling, good shape on the edge of the box. Ball goes out, will be a throw into Aberystwyth.
They're tenacious, aren't they? They're not backing off or anything, and they're not, you know, making it easy for us, top of the league or not. They're not rolling over. But that's British football, isn't it? You know, it's why we love the Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone.
Green, nice ball forward. Saunders can't get the better of Matthias on that occasion. Matthias defends well, turns out for a throw-in. Bowen will trot forward to take it. It's ever more overcast at Cardiff International Sports Stadium. We did start the game in sunshine, but since autumn weather is creeping in, Saunders tries to creep behind there, but once more it's a good tackle from Matthias. Aberystwyth very much sticking to their guns and playing a little bit more compact in their own half at the beginning of this second half. Bowen goes direct on this occasion. Keeper doesn't come, so centre half will have to deal with it. And in fact, it was a central midfield and number 8, Emily Thomas, who got back well there to head away. And Cardiff will have another throw in.
Yeah, those balls can be a nuisance, can't they? In the air, they're difficult for keepers to judge whether they should come or stay. But they did deal with it well.
Throw in, which Saunders tries to feed Green. It's just nicked off her, but Bowen will play the ball back in. That should go over the bar, and Valentine will be happy to see it go over the bar. I think, are we going to see a substitution here, a double substitution for Aberystwyth, in fact? Just looking through the perspex. Number 13, that's Karis Davis, and number 9, Libby Isaac, will be coming on. I think Pusey is one of the players making way, who's worked very hard this afternoon. Didn't catch the other one, so bear with us on that. But certainly it's Isaac and Davis who have come onto the field.
Cardiff has been around for quite a while. I know her quite well. She's not a friend, but she's always, you know, get a warm welcome with her. She's a lovely girl. And then Libby Isaac is a young up-and-coming player, and she's good. She's got a good future.
Will those substitutions make an impact? Oh, Chamberlain tries to throw out, and it's cut out initially there by Bethan Roberts. So once more, Aberystwyth prepared to activate this press. Just having a look whether they've changed formation at all. That's a good read, and you can hear that tackle gets a big round of applause. Fiona Price, Fiona Evans, my apologies, making that tackle.
I think Dan caught on her heels a little bit there, wasn't she?
Wondering whether, no, I think it's still a flat four. I was wondering whether they might have gone to 3 centre halves, the visitors. We'll keep an eye on it. It's a nice ball on the first touch for Davis. Davis, nice ball around the corner, down the line, finds the other substitute, Libby Isaac. Isaac in a good battle with Bowen, nutmegs Bowen, that's nice. Ball into the box, well read by Walsh, and she'll play the ball to Atkins, but Aberystwyth certainly have life.
Well, they've looked a bit more lively than us at the moment, haven't they?
Yeah, they do indeed. I believe it might have been, I'm just looking at the numbers who's still out there. I believe it might have been Rebecca Matthias who came off. Oh no, it wasn't. In fact, it was number 12, Gwenlyn Jones, who came off. So those are the substitutions. QC and Jones off. That ball goes in. Broadhurst, great save! Oh, what a fantastic save from Valentine. Another ball off the bar. Broadhurst will be aghast. She hasn't scored because it was a good header, but the keeper has made a very, very important save there. Can Oakley get in? She knocks it over the keeper. No, it's just into the side netting. The fans react thinking that Cardiff had their second. Maybe they should have had their second, but Aberystwyth get a little bit of luck, which they maybe deserved, or certainly Ellen Valentine deserved for that outstanding save, Mike.
That was a superb save. Absolutely superb. Great football by us. Good build-up. Lovely header, Dan Broadhurst, but fair play. She reacted well to that.
I've just seen a replay of it here. It's a great cross into the box. Broadhurst gets very good connection on it, and it's, well.
That is a really top save.
Well, Aberystwyth gain momentum from that. They turned over the ball, although Bowen helps Walsh out, and Cardiff just about get away with that. Broadhurst wants to go back to her keeper, does go back to her keeper. Dan Broadhurst has hit the bar twice in this second half. Much like Dan Green will perhaps be wondering how she's not on the score sheet as yet.
It's those fine margins, isn't it? You know, we could be out of sight.
Atkins will get onto that flick by Oakley and will spread the game. Price, ball into Watkins. Slightly behind Watkins, but Watkins controls well and now puts the ball into the box. But once more, it's Ellen Jones, who really has been very good today. Shot on goal by Price is blocked on the edge of the area, and Aberystwyth, well, Evans slipped as she tried to win that, which gives the ball back to Price, who puts it towards the far post. Well defended once more. Watkins wanted that ball more though and tries to find Broadhurst. Broadhurst shot, another great block, and again that's the number 5 again. Shot on goal just over the bar from Oakley. Well, Cardiff City upping the intensity, upping the pressure, but Aberystwyth, and particularly Mike, number 5 Ellen Jones, that's holding strong.
Tremendous defending, tremendous throwing a body in front of the ball there. There were a couple of occasions we could have scored, so we've definitely upped our game, but they defended with their lives there. That was tremendous. There's been a good passage of play the last 5 minutes or so. It's livened up a little bit.
Valentine will take the goal kick and gets good distance on it every time. It's a good release from Aberystwyth, a release from any pressure, and that's a nice ball which will send Isaac away. Isaac tries to chip the keeper. Well, the execution wasn't quite there, but it was a nice idea because she had a little look, saw Chamberlain was off her line and decided to take the attempt on.
It's nice, isn't it, that she's thought about it, you know. not wise, because I think the wind is fairly strong against it, and you've got to be very good to do that from there. But here we go.
Oh, bounce favours Cardiff City there. Saunders is through, but again, it's another strong tackle, and maybe I'm a Ragent or number 1 fan club, I'm not sure, but I'll mention the name Ellen Jones again. And if you're doing a little bit of scouting and you're looking for an excellent centre half, well, she's identified herself as one today.
I'm sure Aberystwyth FC are delighted to advertise their players.
Ball into the box. Oh, it's Green who gets there, knew the challenge was coming, so had to take it on the stretch, couldn't quite get over it, and sends it over the bar. These chances are adding up for Cardiff City, and you always get the feeling, Mike.
Absolutely. Well, it's only 1-0. We've got to be taking some of these, to be honest.
Valentine again will clear long. That time she doesn't connect with the intended recipient, and that will be a throw into Cardiff City, which Bowen will take. Bowen again goes in on the challenge, twice in fact, and wins the ball. Neat and tidy today, Bowen.
Yeah, she's a good player.
Runs herself into a little bit of trouble there, and Aberystwyth will try and spread the play. Not sure that ball was intended for Isaac, but she's taken responsibility for it anyway. Mulch has to make another good tackle, and I think was just caught unintentionally by Isaac with a stud to the back of the calf or Achilles there. And once more, Siobhan Walsh, we know she's going to get up, of course, but she's in the wars once more.
Yeah, just slightly late. Siobhan got there first. Nothing deliberate, but still stings a bit.
Certainly does. Aberystwyth take the throw in, but that's very good covering there from Dan Green, who actually wins the goal kick as a result. Excellent play by the left wing back, who was switched on to that situation.
Yeah, she did well, Dan. Then she played it, I think, deliberately off the Gareth Davies, I think.
Oh, it gives it to Price. Price, a little chip ball to herself around the corner. That's nice. And she feeds it forward into a dangerous area. Dangerous because Oakley will chase. Good tackle from Jones.
Well, I think we've got to give man of the match to that, or player of the match,
yes.
Seren again, to that young lady at the back there.
Ellen Jones, yes.
Yeah, she's certainly helped to keep the score down.
Who, for the benefit of our Aberystwyth fans, is not for sale, and no clubs should look at her. Here's Oakley running across the line. Broadhurst trying to keep herself onside. I think that ball was meant for Broadhurst. Green will chase it down and keeps it in. Great tenacity, but to no avail initially as Aberystwyth clear that away. Good tackle from Oakley. Here's Broadhurst again. Cardiff just perhaps showing the benefit, and I'll come to Mike on this in a second, but Kath Walsh mentioned last time that they put an extra training session in. It's 3 nights a week now, and it seems a side that can play at a higher intensity for a higher proportion of time. I'll come to Mike on that in a second as substitute Isaac gets in. Walsh defends it well. That ball's not going to run out. Walsh clears away. Isaac has added something since coming on, but Mike, just to that point, that extra training session you guys have added, I certainly think it's benefited the team, obviously.
It's bound to, isn't it? You think about it, it's 50% more training, you know, and it's quite a commitment now to play for Cardiff City women's team. You know, these girls, if you remember, it's not their job.
No.
They're in school, college, or work, and it is quite the commitment. And it's a challenge for the coaches as well, because they have to vary it, make it interesting. And in fairness, I think it's worked well. It's good for team morale because they're together a lot more as well. So but you're right. With regards to playing the game, they're going to be that much fitter as well.
Cardiff go long. Oakley will chase down Ellen Jones. Jones plays safe. Didn't want to play the left-footed ball back to the goalkeeper. Also apologises to one of the little ball girls who didn't bat an eyelid as that ball struck her on the clearance.
He didn't care less. Good on you, little one.
Continuing to do their jobs very, very well.
They are.
Saunders again protects the ball well. Spins tight to the touchline. Can she get a corner out of it? Has the ball gone? Assistant referee says it has. The signal, in fact, is a corner. So Cardiff will have a set-piece opportunity from this, and Fionn Price goes across. We are past the hour mark, in fact, 64th minute. And just feel Cardiff, another goal would perhaps kill this game, but it hasn't gone their way as yet, and Aberystwyth have probably earned the right to still be in this game. Price in swinging corner. Walsh wanted that, but it's strong defending by the Aberystwyth Town player as Walsh came barreling through. That's got a little short for Price, but Cardiff will get the throw in.
I think Ryan Oakley was just clipped the heel in the penalty area then, but credit to her, she didn't go down.
Here's Saunders again. Always gives her an option, an outlet. Finds a good ball to Oakley. Oakley needs someone to release the ball to. Gives it to Watkins. Cardiff are going backwards to perhaps change the angle of attack. Nothing wrong with that, of course.
Well, in fairness to Aber, they've got everyone behind the ball, so they're making it very difficult. So good challenge this.
Great ball into the area, and it's a good tackle from Jones as Green thought she could get there. Green's asking for a penalty, but again, I'm going to say that's strong defending as the defender went to ground, won the ball first, but wicked ball into the area from Price. Difficult to defend. Yeah,
but and again, another good job done. Aber will be pleased with this because they've had a difficult start to the season, but they are actually, giving us a game here. Or making it difficult for us. I think that would be fairer. They're still in the game, no?
Yep, it only takes one break, and
absolutely right. And you've seen the young lady who's come on up top now. Yeah. She's got a bit of something about a bit of pace.
Just to say, Libby Isaac is someone that Cardiff will have to keep an eye on. Can they get this second goal, the Bluebirds? Here's Atkins round the corner to Saunders, who keeps herself on side well, puts the ball back across goal. Oakley, decent first touch, shot on goal. Block again, and I'm going to stop saying who blocked it, Mike, because it starts to get a little obsessive. But no, it was Ellen Jones once more, who is doing her defensive job exceptionally well. Saunders again lays it back to Price, takes the 1-2. Price, can she get a shot on goal? Goes across the box, opens up her body, but couldn't bend that back at goal. Instead, just slices it wide. Another decent passage of play, but again, that final clinical nature, that clinical touch isn't quite there.
Yeah, she could just put a foot through that. Tried to be a bit cute, I think, and curl it into the far post, but obviously didn't get hold of it, and it was the corner flag that was in more danger than the back of the net.
See, you can say these things, Mike. I'm not allowed to say these things. You know this team very well.
I know. Well, they give me enough sticks, so I think
while you've got the microphone, yeah.
All part of being in a football club.
Of course it is. All good-natured. Yeah. Throw in to the Bluebirds with midway inside their own half. Wonder whether Derbyshire is thinking about making a change, and right on cue it looks like Phoebe Poole is perhaps taking off the training bib.
It's not bad having Phoebe on the bench, is it?
It's not, is it? Welsh international, of course.
2 goals for her country this week.
Here's Green. That's a nice ball. And Green, who's been more involved in this second half, drives back across the pitch. That's good. Tries to play a ball through to Saunders. Saunders does enough to get it to Broadhurst. Back to Price, who seems to have a bit of a free roll in this second half. She's going from side to side. Oakley uses Price as the decoy. Now comes back across the box and tries to play it to Watkins. Watkins, I'm not sure, was expecting that. Caught on her heels a little. That's Isaac again, who's got a bit of speed about her, and similar to Rhian Oakley, is prepared to put the shoulder in, put the body in. She's made an impact, the substitute.
Yeah, she's not a big girl, but she's certainly a presence. She doesn't mind mixing it, so good on her. I've seen her before a few times, and she does cause problems. I was a little bit surprised she wasn't in the starting 11, to be honest. I think she normally is.
Well, Cardiff's substitution is perhaps the one we expected. Saunders, who has done well today, I think, and
Yeah,
has been
worked
very
hard.
unselfish and worked hard. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Mike. Replaced by perhaps the more fluent or natural goal scorer in Phoebe Poole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aberystwyth also making a sub. It's number 15, Tanya Wild, who is coming on. And once more, the player does me no favours by not showing me their shirt as she goes off.
Well,
so
I think that's Fee. I think that's.
was that Fiona Evans that
Fiona
went off
Evans,
there,
yeah.
the number 11?
Another player I know quite well. She's also a physio. I think she's a more mature player as well, should we say? But she's done well.
Here's Power, great cross into the box. Broadhurst tries the bicycle kick. Audacious, not a bad effort. Got some contact on it, couldn't direct it towards goal. I know we have this competition every week, well, not competition, this discussion, because I like to see what the tweet is when I get home a little bit later. I know you guys do a player of the match. I'm going to go for Hannah Power today. I really just like the way she's been such a steady Eddie and affected the game as well.
Can't argue with that.
I'm going to put my vote in for her.
Yeah.
Not that my vote counts for anything.
Yeah, well, there will be chances for you to vote.
Here's Poole looking to make an immediate contribution since coming on. Great depth to bring off the bench, as Mike said. Now it's back to Dan Green. Looks to play intricate passing. Here's Poole, a little stop and go. Good tackle there. Shot a goal, another good block. Two good blocks there. Matthias is hurt from the initial block, but it was a necessary one, and she did it very well. Cardiff, though, really knocking on the door. Green slips, but still manages to work the ball to Broadhurst. Broadhurst tries to play it around the corner, but it was well read. Cardiff will have the throw in. Emily Thomas, the holding midfielder, number 8, another one who's done well today.
Yeah, she's a good player. She's been around a while, Emily.
Yeah, thoroughly impressed with the work rate and organisation of Aberystwyth.
Organised, yeah. I think that's the key to their day, really. The way they've kept us at bay. I mean, they've ridden their luck. Let's be fair. We've hit the bar a few times. So, but
you know the football gods, Mike. If you're working hard, sometimes the luck goes your way.
No,
so.
they deserve to, some of their luck.
Power steps forward, finds Phoebe Poole, who wants to make an immediate contribution. Just stopped in a track on that occasion. Now Aberystwyth do have some bodies. There was maybe an easier pass onto the right-hand side, and in fact, Karis Davis a little frustrated there. Maybe too enthusiastic to get forward too quickly. Green goes to ground, asks for the foul, referee obliges.
Yes, I think obviously their tactic this half is to stay compact, get as many behind the ball and try and catch us on the counter. But you've got to be accurate with that ball, and I think it was basically a punt up the field instead of coming right maybe to Karis, who was in a bit of space.
Bowen goes long. It's dealt with well by Jones. Well, everyone stopped for a second. No whistle had gone, and Poole eventually continued, tried to put the shot on goal, but deflected and goes through to Valentine. We've got about 17 minutes of normal time remaining, and still only 1-0. Cardiff have dominated. They've had the chances, but they are not out of sight. Atkins wins the header.
We've hardly seen Rhian Oakley in this half, have we?
No, certainly it's been different to the first half, and credit to Aberystwyth how they've managed her, although Dan Green we have seen more of. She puts the ball across the box. It took a little deflection. I think that should be, well, I thought that might have been a corner, but obviously my eyes deceive me. It'll be a goal kick.
I felt the same. I thought he just got a deflection, but none of the players have put their hand up for that, so obviously it was the right decision.
But you say about Rhian Oakley, we see it in football all the time. If special attention is now being paid to her, well, that opens up space for other people, and the likes of Dan Green and certainly Fionn Price seem to have had more space this second half. So maybe Aberystwyth have gone compact. They've tried to play against Oakley. That's allowed other players the opportunity.
I understand that. I would just wonder when Rhian was having so much joy down the right-hand side, up against Matthias, why is she now this side and out of the game? You know,
No, it's a fair point. Paul rides that tackle, but there's a good covering secondary layer of defence from Kelly Thomas, the captain. Her and Emily Thomas have worked exceedingly hard to be holding players. And now there's a 2-on-1. This is the big moment for Aberystwyth, and the ball is just behind, allowing Cardiff to get players back. Shot on goal. It's going to go wide. It was substitute Tanya Wild with the opportunity, but the initial ball just needed to be in front and in stride on the player, and that sort of wasted the opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's the warning, isn't it, you know?
Yes, Cardiff need to pay attention to that. And
yeah, that was a real 2-on-1, and that could have been a very dangerous position. As you say, if that had been knocked in front of her, you never know. And if roles had been reversed, it'd been the other player knocking it to.
Yeah. Broadhurst doesn't have to make life difficult there. Aberystwyth clear away, but they will likely gain confidence from that moment. And there's another decent ball again that Davis can't quite get to. To be fair to Bowen, she had good body position.
Yeah, that's twice now they've almost got in.
Watkins tidies up, clips it forward. Atkins will chase, and we'll get there first, in fact, and immediately puts the ball across the box. Poole takes it out of the air nicely. Oakley shot on goal, blocked by a certain number 5.
Oh, please. She's had a game, hasn't she?
She has indeed. But you can tell Aberystwyth still believe here, and Mike, it's one of those you can't criticise Cardiff City today, but I guess you've got aspirations for challenging for the top of the league. A point dropped here would be a disappointment.
Oh, that would be. Yeah, I mean, you think it's great to beat the likes of the Swansea and the other sides, but if they're then you drop points with respect at home to Aberystwyth, who basically on the back of a 3-game losing streak, you know, that's going to be disappointing.
Still 1-0 to the Bluebirds, though, of course, and with good game management, they should see this one out. And lest we forget, they have hit the woodwork on a couple of occasions. Another chance gone a begging, but thoroughly impressed with Aberystwyth. They've made life difficult all afternoon. They continue to make life difficult and keep Cardiff penned in their own half. And they'll pick up second ball there, although it's tidied up by Price. Price wants to come across field. There's no outlet pass initially. Now Walsh can spread it, but well defended.
Yeah, it's, players are getting a little bit frustrated and maybe forcing it a bit too much as well. We're still winning the game. We don't want to lose a goal here.
Walsh tries to angle that pass. In fact, the pace is taken off the ball by Gwilt, so can Poole get to it? No, she'll decide to allow the ball to run out and take the throw in. She goes quickly back to Price. Price has Watkins if she wants to. In fact, she turns and tries to link with Poole. That was inches away from being a nice, intricate play. Price won't give up on this, though, and she's won the ball in the box. Now puts it across. Atkins with her back to goal. Can she lay it off to somebody? Oh, Price, not quite sure she knew what she wanted to do there, shoot or cross, and in the end it was neither, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
I don't think it's been quite Fion's day today. There's been one or two occasions where she's skied it as opposed to putting where she wanted it. But we won't have a go at Fee. She's a fantastic player for us. But it's been one of those days, hasn't it? It's just like it's not quite clicked for us.
Yeah, it's
but we got to give credit as well to
huge credit, and they're in here because Power was, that's not offside, Power was the last player, and Isaac kept herself onside, and the substitute does look dangerous. Can she work something into the box? It's a decent cross, but Chamberlain, good positioning, watched it the whole way, and solid catch. But I almost get the impression like Cardiff City don't quite know what to do here. Do they drive forward and try and kill the game off? Do they protect what they have? And there's a few players sort of caught between both mindsets, maybe.
I agree. I think getting the ball forward quickly is the way for us.
Oakley will knock that past the keeper and keep it in, although it's a very acute angle, so she'll need support. Gives it back to Green. Green, a little bit of a sand wedge cross there, and it's cleared away. Watkins, again, retrieves it, but the ball is cleared long as the wind picks up once more on what's become a overcast afternoon. Fire will be going on shortly in Landdock for the Man City-Liverpool game. That's my afternoon activity.
There you go.
But we're not done here yet as Poole drives in. Nice ball to the feet of Atkins. Atkins clips the ball back in, looking for Poole, but good commanding goalkeeping from Valentine.
No, I think you summed it well there. We're not quite sure what we're doing. We're a little bit betwixt and between. Decision making hasn't been good today, and our execution right from the start was poor, wasn't it? So need to be talking there.
I feel at this stage for Cardiff City, it's one of those, Mike, that if this game stays 1-0 in April, when you look back at the fixture list, you don't really remember it. It's just about getting the 3 points.
Absolutely.
Now.
It's all about winning games, isn't it? No.
But Aberystwyth will be a team to be reckoned with this year. They've shown that much, and they've shown that the...
Well, if they play like this against everybody, the thing is, they're set up to stop us. And, you know, you're not going to set up to stop some of the other teams.
Yeah.
Swansea and Met, yes. But you've got to be a bit more adventurous
Yes.
when you go against the other sides in the league if you want to stay in the league.
It's a good long throw, and Walsh has to deal with it. She does deal with it.
And you leave yourself open, so you know that's probably what's happened previously. I think they've worked hard in training for this performance.
I think they have. I think you're absolutely right. Credit to the coaching setup at Aberystwyth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Siobhan Walsh wins that again. She's down again. She'll just throw her body at anything, and it's...
She has no respect for her own body.
She doesn't. She must be black and blue after a game, but she's a leader. Poole is tackled there, and Isaac will try and run that ball down the line. Price stays with her well and should win that duel. Asking for the foul. Referee saying play on. Power takes responsibility, and again, I think she deserves huge credit for her performance today. Watkins back to Walsh. Just saw Kath Walsh reclaim one of the loose balls below me on the track. Nothing wrong with her, Mike. She can play next week.
You tell her. She would love to.
Siobhan Walsh throws herself again, blocks that, but there's real belief here amongst Aberystwyth as we go into the last 6.5 minutes of the game that they've done their hard work. Can they now just nick something?
They just need a little bit of luck in a dangerous area.
And this lady who's come on, Karis Davis, can put a ball into the box from a throw.
She's a good player, Karis. She's not been well, apparently. I was speaking to her before the game.
She's beaten Green there. Green does well to recover her position and make a tackle, but ball's out again. You'll hear the Aberystwyth fans again. There is real positivity from the visitors.
We're struggling to get out here a bit.
Good hold-up play from Wild. Wild actually, I thought she'd beaten the 2 players there, but again, Green does well defensively to bring the ball away. Poole holds it up well. Broadhurst passes slightly behind Atkins, but Atkins will recover it. That's a nice ball forward. Poole will get there. Hannah Power is joining with her. Poole decides to try and skip past the marker herself. Doesn't quite come off. Power now has to get back and does get back. And forces a turnover. As you hear the rain starting to fall on top of the stand. Dan Green now. Will she go down the line? It's a decent tackle. Dan Green will get up once more though, feed it in, looking for Oakley. And Mike, you're absolutely right. Oakley has had no space second half. And whether that's Aberystwyth or a Cardiff change, I'm not sure. We'll come to that in a moment as cross comes in. It's well charged down, and Aberystwyth should be able to bring it away, although that clearance hits Broadhurst. It is now cleared, and Wild will control it and protects it well. And again, just needed to play a short pass, maybe rush the execution a little bit. But Mike, in your eyes, how has Rhiannon Oakley gone from the player of the game in the first half? And no criticism to her, just, you know, a little bit just quieter and negated in this second half.
Well, she's the other side of the field. I just don't understand why that has happened. She's absolutely creaming the left back all through the first half, and then she's moved to the other side, or she's gone to the other side. I don't know what it is, but
she finds Green there. Green with a lovely ball in, and just needed more of a cushioned header. There was a full contact there from Phoebe Poole. And it's another chance gone a-begging for Cardiff City. It was Oakley who, having not been allowed to do much this second half, just as we were talking about her, she broke the line, her pace, lovely ball. And Dan Green, who's had a strong second half, decent cross into the area, Mike, but just needed a glance rather than a full-blooded contact.
Well, I was expecting that to go into the net. I mean, Phoebe's in good form at the moment. Like I said, 2 goals this week for Wales. I mean, a strike of her quality, got to bury those. It's a free header.
Got to give huge praise to Dan Green at left wing back. I know, as you said, she's got the attributes to play there, but she's changed to that role. Defensively, going forward, nothing but impressed. Yeah, she's worked hard on being able to play that position, because it wasn't a natural position for her getting back. But she's doing well. She's doing well. She's so determined to keep her place in the team. Yeah. That's what I've admired about it. You know, with new players and good players joining, it's important that you up your game yourself, and she's done that. Oakley gives it to Price. Referee's playing advantage. Price tries the shot. We've seen that before. Oakley asking the referee, but the advantage was played, and there was a shot at goal. Price couldn't quite keep it down. Cry from the bench of last few minutes, and we still strikes the ball so cleanly. Doesn't she? And that's Kath Walsh I can hear from here. Intensity, last few minutes. Trying to rally the troops. Here's Dan Green. Nice ball to Oakley. Oakley has got room here, and she's got Poole at the far post. Oakley, nice clip ball. Poole, good touch. Thought she was going to lay it off for Dan Green. Poole, now to Broadhurst. Is this the moment? No, it's not. Another chance. I think there was enough pressure on Broadhurst there to maybe get her to lean back and put the shot over the bar, but what's that, 8, 9, 10 chances now. Mike gone a-begging. What do you think they'll work on in training this week? Shooting practice, my gosh. Aberystwyth live to fight again and are still in this. Absolutely. One ball from Valentine. It's cut out by Bowen, but Aberystwyth turn it forward now, and might be the case that Isaac's in behind. Walsh gets back goal side, but Isaac has added something since coming on. She probably won't get to this. It was a nice idea, but ball was overhit, and that'll be a goal kick to Cardiff City. Just a quick look at the clock, 88 minutes. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. I'll actually be glad when the game's over now. You know, I like to see us score lots of goals, and in reality we should have today, but I'll take the 3 points and gladly go home and have my tea. Bowen. Broadhurst turns around the corner to Green. Green was caught on her heels a little bit, doesn't have to use the body to protect the ball. Aberystwyth win it back, although Green goes to ground, wins a tackle, continuing to work hard for the whole 90 minutes. But got to say, this is again, learning experience, new experience for Cardiff City. They're cutting a frustrated figure out there collectively as a team today. They feel they should have won by more, and just sense this is one that Ian Derbyshire and his troops will talk about and learn from. Absolutely. It's a nice ball from Oakley to Price. Price is waiting for Power to go outside of her. Power does get around the outside. We'll put a cross in. It's deflected again by Kelly Thomas. Captain has worked hard all afternoon. Well, that was handball then, but
Hannah put her hand up, but nothing given.
Ball into the area. Atkins flicks it on. Can Broadhurst get there? She'll lay it off. It was a nice... Thought she was going to strike it, and then the layoff. I could see why she was doing it. I think Poole maybe expected the strike as well. Bowen, nice ball again. Can play a nice ball, Bowen. She's a really good pickup, I think.
A good footballer.
Price down the line to Poole. Poole. Broadhurst in space. If Poole can get her head up, she decides to take the shot on herself. It's blocked. Aberystwyth prepared to put their bodies on the line all afternoon. Ball into the area. Cleared again. Should favour Oakley, the spin on the ball. She'll give it back to Bowen. Bowen looks for the run of Atkins. A little too straight, that ball, and all the way through to Valentine. Well, we're through the 90, so all eyes on the referee. Didn't see a board go up. We are at the referee's discretion. Atkins should be able to pick that up, and Cardiff have the ball in the right half of the field. Strong tackle, though. Ball is turned forward. It will run out. Cardiff, in terms of their game management, probably not in a rush to take this. Indeed, Bowen goes to retrieve the ball that's furthest away from her.
They call it game management, don't they?
They do. They do. It was time wasting in our day, but...
Yeah.
But if you're winning, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah. Come on, ref, blow up.
If you're losing, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. But
It is, isn't it?
will be another throw in. Credit to those lads today, Mike. They've had a fun afternoon. It's not an easy trip from Aberystwyth, of course. We all know that.
Yeah,
so,
well, if they've come all the way from Aber, good on them. But I've got a feeling they're probably studying in Cardiff or something.
well, they've certainly
It
made
might
it
be
enjoyable
Cardiff,
game.
boys.
Poole
Too much on
puts a little too much on that to get to Broadhurst. Price. Well, there is the full-time whistle. A win is a win, and Cardiff City have won this by the small margin of 1-0. And Mike, you know, it's one of those, as you say, glad it's over. I think we have to give huge credit to Aberystwyth just how difficult they made it. On another day, Cardiff could have had another 2 or 3. They didn't, but you'll take the 3 points.
Absolutely right. Aber had a game plan, and they were very compact. They made it very difficult for us, and then we were profligate with our chances. So, all in all, you know, you're happy with the 3 points, disappointed with the performance. The girls will know that, and they've set their own high standards now. But at the end of the day, you just look at the league table. It says played 5-1-5,
yeah.
and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, it's been a story as old as football. If you can win whilst not playing to your full potential, that is the sign of a good team. And I think we know Cardiff City are a good team.
Oh, definitely. We're not going to be top of our game every week, and they're going to be ugly wins. So, you know, and today was one of those, I'm afraid. So, apologies to the viewers, but at least we won.
At least we won,
and we keep winning, and that's the most important thing. You know, we will be challenging the other side of Christmas as well as this side. We need to be winning games, and that's what we're doing. So,
just as the second half highlights are going on, a closing thought, because Mike, we're of course Cardiff City centric, but we're about growing the women's game across Wales. We've got to talk about Aberystwyth. You say they came with a game plan. They executed it so well. Very impressed. They played 90 minutes of football, put their bodies on the line. The visitors deserve a whole lot of credit for today.
100%. I mean, they played with a lot of courage, I thought, today. You know, they had to throw themselves in front of the ball on numerous occasions, and the centre half was magnificent. She was a real leader, but so difficult to get around. So we'll learn from it, but so will they. I think they'll take heart from it. You know, when they have to come up against the likes of Met and Swans. They'll take good things from today's game.
They will indeed. We hope you've taken good things from today's game. It perhaps hasn't had the goals of previous encounters, but still a very intriguing match here. My thanks to Mike, as always, for joining me and making it a very enjoyable Sunday afternoon and just generally putting up with me, Mike. So thank you as ever.
My pleasure. It's always good fun, Tom. Thank you.
Always good fun. We will remind you that the men's senior team are back in action on Wednesday against QPR, so join us for that if you can, and then a small matter of a derby game next Sunday against Swansea. But for the time being, my thanks to Mike, Thomas and the rest of the Cardiff City TV crew here. Thank you for joining us, supporting the women's game. And it's another win for the Bluebirds. They remain top of the table. It finishes here at Cardiff International Sports Stadium. Cardiff City 1, Aberystwyth 0.